Hey guys, up? Back with another video. This time we are reviewing Rebellion 2021. Just got finished watching it about half an hour ago, so thought I'd come down and thought I'd come downstairs to do a review of it. Considering it's massively warm tonight, so thought I'd come downstairs and do a review. And I gotta be a bit quiet because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, so pardon my if I'm not as loud as I usually am. So let's get this underway, shall we? First match of the night, we had Josh Alexander taking on Ace Austin and TJP for the X Division Championship. This match was, as Impact used to be called, TNA. This match embodied TNA. It was total non-stop action. Really enjoyed this match. Like, it was non-stop, like bam, 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 bam. Like, there was no breaks. There was no time to catch your breath. It was just in your face. It was really awesome. Josh Alexander, TJP, and Ace Austin really brought it in the opener. This is what the opening match of a pay-per-view should, kick off the show with a banger. It was a really banger of a match, and it was really good. So, really good match on this one. Awesome match. And, yeah. On to the next match. It was really fucking good. I really enjoyed it. Sorry for my language. But yeah, I really enjoyed that opening match. Next match, we had Violent by Design of Joe Doring, Dina, and Rhino teaming up with the debuting W. Morrissey, taking on the team of Eddie Edwards, Chris Sabin, Willie Mack, and who's the fucking fourth guy? James Storm. Sorry, guys. I got my notes in my hand, sorry. In my other hand. Yeah, this was a fun tag team match. It was basically it was basically Eric Young was supposed to be in this match, but unfortunately he got injured on the Impact before this, so yeah, W. Morrissey was his replacement, and I like the visual at the end where, Morrissey celebrated, but he was in the ring celebrating, and Violent by Design won the ramp celebrating, so it kind of clarified that Morrissey wasn't an actual member of Violent by Design. He was only a hired gun, so to speak. I like that aspect. I think this match really put over Morrissey as this big threat to the Impact roster going forward. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Good, nice, big thumbs up for this. Big debut. It was impressive, and he looked impressive too. So big thumbs up for this one. Next match, I wasn't really a big fan of this match. It was Brian Myers taking on Matt Cardona. I didn't really care too much about this match. I feel like, even though it's been a couple of years now, I feel like the stain of Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder are still embedded in my brain when it comes to these two. So it was alright, but I felt like I was watching unfortunately, I felt like I was watching a match from the main event of the show. The WWE BEC show. So I felt like I was watching one of those kind of matches, but I like the ending where Cardona injured his knee, and Brian Myers, instead of being friendly with him, decided to take advantage of the injured knee, and was actually smart. So yeah, I like that. It was pretty good. The ending was good, but I didn't really care too much about the match itself. Sorry guys, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, next match, we had the women's tag team title match. We have Fire and Flavor defending the tag team titles against Jordan Grace and Rachel Allering. This match was pretty alright. Not too much to write home about. Jazz was at ringside, and with the challengers, and she looks badass with the bald head. I forgot about Jazz being bald. But yeah, she was badass, and we had new tag team champions, and I think it was a good match. It was pretty alright. It was alright. Nothing too much to write up. Nothing too much to talk about. So there you go. I'll move on to the next match. We had the next match was Sammy Callahan versus Trey Miguel for the X Division Championship. Jesus Christ, not for the X Division Championship. Sorry, guys. We had Sammy Callahan versus Trey Miguel in a last man standing match. Sorry, I'm thinking because every now and then when it comes to Trey Miguel for the last couple of months, it's been like, oh, Trey Miguel versus such and such a person for the X Division title. That's why I got confused. So yeah, Sammy Callahan versus Trey Miguel in the last man standing match. This is all about the fact that Trey left the company and and then came back and and Sammy was basically saying that he had no passion and he always quit. So basically challenging to a last man standing match. This match, in a weird way, I described it as it reminded me of a John Cena I Quit match, where the heel would beat on John Cena, but he would never quit. In this case, it was Sammy Callahan, would destroy Trey, would destroy Trey, would beat him up, but Trey wouldn't stay down. There was a 6-spot involving the table leg where Trey Miguel went to do a suplex and Sammy suplexed him onto the table leg, which looked sick. There was another spot where Sammy power drove him off the middle rope. It was supposed to go through the table, but he hit the corner of the table and the table just tipped over. That looked painful. The finish came a bit flat in my opinion, because I get what they did, but I think the commentary made up for it. So basically, Sammy couldn't keep him down, so he tried to stack the steps on him so he couldn't get up. But he stacked it against the apron, so it was like, oh well, okay, he's trapped him, he can't get up. And then he just went under the apron and then just got out the apron. And then he cutted Sammy off the apron through a table, but Trey's body went through, hit more of the table. And then Sammy, because of the way that they described it was Sammy, he was so sweaty that he slipped off as he was trying to help himself up using the table. So that's how he lost the match. And it was pretty unique. It was a good match. It was a shame that off this momentum, Trey didn't really do anything after this. Yeah, I think he went back into the X Division. But it was a really fine. It was a really physical matchup, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, really good stuff on there. Then the next match we had the Impact Tag Team title match. We had Finn Juice of David Finlay and Juice Robinson taking on the Good Brothers. Another decent matchup right here. Really liked the offense the Good Brothers were doing. Because Finn Juice had won the tag team titles and taken them back to Japan. So this was kind of like the Good Brothers were kind of desperate to keep the titles and to bring the belts back to Impact. And unfortunately, they got a little bit too desperate and frustrated with it because they couldn't get the job done, and it ended up costing them in the end. And I liked that. It was pretty cool. It was pretty nice to see. Cole Anderson and Doc Gallows went for the Magic Killer, but Cole Anderson was a bit frustrated, and Doc Gallows ended up getting rolled up, and pinned. So yeah, pretty decent matchup, and I like the finish with the Good Brothers getting frustrated, because the Good Brothers are usually the calm and collect, making fun of trying to make the other guys become frustrated. It was them on the other end of it, so it was kind of nice to see. So that was pretty good. I like that. Then next match, we had Deonna Purrazzo versus Tenille Dashwood. Two heels against each other, I realized. Two heels against each other. This match, when it was just those two in the ring, it was really good. I liked the match between Deonna Purrazzo and Tenille Dashwood when it was just them two. But the outside interference kind of ruined it a little bit for me. It took the match down a little bit for me. With Kahib getting involved and Susan and Kimberly getting involved, it kind of took the match down a little bit for me. But Deonna Purrazzo, when it was just them two in the ring, it was really good stuff. I enjoyed the match except for the interference part. And then after the match, Gianna Perazzo and Susan and Kimberly continued to attack. And we got the return of Taylor Wilde, which I totally forgot about because it didn't really lead to anything. I think she disappeared like about a couple months, maybe a month or so after this. So it looked like they were setting up for Taylor Wilde to take on Gianna Perazzo, but that never seemed to happen. But it was what it was. It was good to see Taylor Wilde back for this time period, for this at that time. And it was what it was. It was really the match itself was good, apart from the interference, of course. And of course, that leads us on to the main event, which is on the front cover right here. We have Rich Swann taking on Kenny Omega. This match was really good. I liked the match. It was a battle of, Rich Swann went in as the underdog, and he tried his hardest to beat Kenny Omega, but Kenny Omega's knees to the head. It was just way too many. It was just too many shots to the head and the neck area that really slowed Rich Swann down, and that was his downfall. Was I think it was like somewhere in the match. I forget whether like 5 or 10 minutes into the match, where he goes for a springboard. Goes through a handspring onto the ropes, and he lands on his neck. And that really was the downfall of Rich Swann, because Kenny kneed him in the head and, would go after his head, and that was kind of like the downfall. And, no matter, with every, I described this when I was watching, I was like, with every V-trigger, you can feel the Impact title slipping away from Impact, and no matter how much the Impact roster of Eddie Edwards and Willie Mack and all them were banging on the apron trying to get Rich Swann back into it, it wasn't helping, and eventually Kenny, Rich Swann had a couple of small little gasps at the end where you thought, okay, he could pull this out, but he missed the Phoenix Splash, and Kenny would hit another knee and hit the dreaded One-Winged Angel to become to win the championships. So it was pretty good, pretty cool stuff. It was actually nice hearing Mauro Ranallo on commentary for the main event. It made it was a big time. It had a big time feel to it. And as I said, Rich had nothing. To me, I know. I'm going to sound like an idiot here, but Rich Swann had nothing to be ashamed of here. Like Kenny was just a better man on that night. The neck injury on the apron really softened him up and really really worked in Kenny's favor, and the V-triggers didn't help. But yeah, once he got caught with that One-Winged Angel, man, he got caught with that One-Winged Angel, and that was it. And yeah, so yeah, really good pay-per-view, really good match, really good show. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was the same as Hard to Kill. When I thought about it upstairs before I came down to do the review, I thought I was going to give it about 7. But now that I've actually gone through it again, I think that most of the pay-per-view was good. I think the only match that I wasn't really that bothered about was Cardona versus Myers. But that's not on the storyline or anything. It's just the fact that, they still, in my head, they have the WWE, they still, it's going to take a while for me to get, it's going to take a while to get that stain of Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder out of my mind. But apart from that, the pay-per-view was great, and I really enjoyed it. So I give it an 8 out of 10. I'm really happy that I'm done with the pandemic era pay-per-views now, and I can move on to Slammiversary 2021, the first pay-per-view in front of fans in over a year. Which, by the way, I might have to do Slammiversary 2020 and Bound for Glory 2020 reviews. Probably later on. I'll probably have to recap them because I watched them a couple of weeks ago, so I'll probably have to refresh my memory again when it comes to them pay-per-views. So yeah, apart from that, everything was good. I really enjoyed the pay-per-view. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'm forgetting how to end this now. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Like, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment and tell me what you thought of Rebellion 2021. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Have a nice day. Well, have a nice night. Hope you're sleeping well. I'll probably be going off to sleep later in a bit, and I'll see you guys in a bit. And I'm out.